What is up, entrepreneurs? Welcome to our Friday live day here on Entre Woman TV. And this whole channel is dedicated to helping you simplify the video creation process so that you can reach wider and connect deeper with the people that need you the most. And I believe video is the best way to do that. So on this channel, I'll take gear and equipment that I buy with mine own dollars, or that we're going to be doing like live today, getting a chance to play with the Ecamm Boom XD live, to hear what that would sound like. So if you're into yoga, you want to be untethered from a setup like this, we'll be diving into that, as well as your questions. You can hop on live, and as you can see, the quality is where it should be. Okay, out here in these streets, because we are not on StreamYard this day. We are using Ecamm Live, and yes, you will still be able to join live using the same link as we have been using before, but you're going to be using it through Ecamm Live. So if you were a part of Ecamm Live's live stream yesterday, then you would have seen that myself, Adrian Salisbury, who runs the Ecamm Academy, along with Katie Fox from Fox, listen, charge it to my poor pronunciation. She was on there representing Ecamm Network, in addition to Stephanie Liu, just amazing people. Ian was on there, all of us. And then if you also noticed, I had no audio the whole time. I had no audio. And the reason why, it was some small thing that's been changed now, so that's fixed. But if you had up to like that fifth person that's joining, so the host plus the other attendees, so me being the fifth person, I had no audio because it was something like not testing something silly, like just like the broadcast, so that you guys they could hear me just fine. So I'm writing on paper and holding stuff up to the camera, so it's a lot of fun, but really funny. However, that's fixed now. But if you want to hop on, ask your questions live, you can do that. We're going to be using Ecamm, and as mentioned and as stated, as soon as this feature was ready, this is not out yet. This is not even in beta testing. So this is before. So this is not available to you guys yet, but it will be soon. So I thought it would be great to go ahead and really dive into getting you to get a chance to experience that as well. And then too, everybody coming from all kind of different walks of life, whether you're on your phone, whether you're on your computer, whatever, to be able to test this as well. So we had to keep it a little hush-hush. But we went ahead and had talked about it yesterday. So here we are. So I'm pumped and excited because let me tell you something. I got problems with StreamYard this day, but I'm trying to be brand friendly, as they say. And so sometimes my person steps out and says things on the channel, and then it's just like, oh, okay. It's like, that's how you feel. It's like I'm trying to be sensitive because everybody has different needs, wants, and hashtag all the things, right? But it's like, if I feel some kind of way about something, I'm going to say it. And I have not been pleased with with StreamYard's performance. I mean, it's okay, I guess, if you're using whatever you use, different strokes for different folks. But I paid for Ecamm with my own money. I paid for all of these tools with my own money. And unfortunately, it's just like there's some things that I have issues with, and we talked about that before. And then to just really announce, and I'm going to get into the comments here in a second. So if you guys got questions, feel free to join. Hope my desk ain't all messy. I try to hide stuff, just like push it out the way. Give the illusion of a clean desk, semi-clean desk. But so here's the deal. Y'all know I'm straight up with you. I'm 100% honest, as I always am. But I feel some kind of way, and y'all can let me know what your thoughts are, because I think I'm not so into my brand so much on the channel that I cannot say how I honestly feel about something. If I say something sucks, or if I feel like it sucks, and that's my opinion. So it's not like for a deal, and I've definitely turned down money. I've turned down opportunities because I'm like, no, my people don't want that, or they don't have a use for that, or it's just like, no, it's like, or that sucks, or that's lame, or so it's like a lot of things I could get. It's like I don't get because it's just like, no, it's like nobody wants that, or those kind of things. And I feel some kind of way when it comes to dealing with StreamYard. And they announced that 1080p is out, and I'm like, yes, finally. I'm really excited about that. And then I go look, and it says for the pro account. And the pro account is $49, and there's literally, like, I kid you not, there's literally nothing in that package. You know what I'm saying? And again, y'all let me know what your thoughts are and how you feel about it, because I like to be, you know, if I'm on somebody's channel, they're recommending something, I take that person's word seriously. So I care about my word. And what that means, I'm gonna pull this up here in another window because I'm still signed in, but you know, I just feel some kind of way about it. So let's go over to, let me go jump over here. Okay, pause for the calls because I do want to share my window. All right, and I want to move over yonder and then change my camera because it's been a minute. All right, so here we are. This is StreamYard's thing. And again, different strokes for different folks. You do what works best for you. However, when we go over to pricing, and again, like, I'm just trying to be like straight up. Month to month is usually what most people do until they figure out what they want or they're trying something out. Obviously, I recommend it as an option. It's in my live streaming guide and all of that. But as you can see, the 1080p option, though, is for the $50 a month package. And I just can't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm somebody, I'm all for investing. Y'all clearly see as much money as I spend and then literally invest in my own business and stuff. I think I don't feel comfortable, like, you know what I'm saying, about this right here. I'm happy 1080p is out, but this is a standard and a basic. And I kind of hate to start the stream off like this, but I'm just kind of being honest about it because I know somebody's going to ask me. So I might as well get it over with. But I just feel some kind of way about this because, I mean, there's nothing over here though. You know what I'm saying? In this professional package, yeah, you can stream, record longer so that you can double up on that time. You could, multi-stream to 8 destinations, which is amazing. And that's one of the things I like. You can stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So that's really cool. But I just think, like, only for 1080p an extra $25, would y'all be willing to pay for that? If that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a legit thing or is that just me being in my feelings? Because, you know, if I'm a fangirl about something, it's because I put my money where my mouth is and it works. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I just feel some kind of way about that. It feels like a money grab, you know, and it's just like I am cautious about saying that because I did beta testing for them. What was it, like 2018 even, I think, maybe 2019, somewhere thereabout. Then I'm like, hey, this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. So it's just like, I can't, you know, I can't stand behind that. That's my kind of the thing. So that's why, one, we're going to switch test and we'll be using Ecamm, like I already said before any of this came out. That will be my deal. It's like we're going to go back to the better quality where I have all my things and, you know, hashtag all the things. But I just feel some kind of way about that. And I just want to let y'all know because y'all email me, you ask me. So I'm just throwing it out there and being very transparent about it. I don't feel comfortable about that at all. I don't mind investing extra money for something if it's worth it or recommended. Like, yeah, it's a stretch, but it's worth it because of, you know what I'm saying, X. So I just don't know. So we have debut. Hold on, let me move some stuff around here. Debut Guitar, stopping in to say hi. I'll be back. Yay, finally caught alive. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Adam's Exploits. Hi, Diana. Looking forward to an educational show. Well, I hope to deliver, my buddy. So good to see you. Glad that you are here. Jimmy saying, hey there, Diana. Can hear you today. Yes, indeed you can. So pumped that you can hear me clearly. Always a wonderful thing. Jiggy Lifestyle say very nice setup, great video quality. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kathy in with the first question of the day. Saying, I got the Comica Boom XD on your, I guess, request the other week. And love it for live streams and recording. Is there a way to plug it in my MacBook Pro and get some sound out for interviews? Yes, there is actually. And I went ahead and we're kind of thinking on the same pages here, Kathy. So what I did was, and let me reduce this down some, kind of like Kathy taking over the stream. And so I like that right there. All right. So what I decided to do, just to see what's what. Now I have a cam link. I have a camera that has clean HDMI out. However, this would be the same kind of a setup if you were going to use your MacBook Pro. And so I've already turned it on. I already got it hooked up. I wanted to see what the audio would sound like if I switched from using this podcast style microphone, because I know some of you guys are into yoga. Some of you guys are just like wanting to be able to move about. Some people paint, some people into different artistry work. So we're going to switch audios and see how it sounds. So right now you're listening to the Samson Q2U, my podcasting microphone hooked in via USB. And so let's switch over to the camera. It'll be a little bit lower because I didn't adjust my audio levels on my camera to compensate. So if it's a little bit lower, that's why. I'll just try to increase the volume on Ecamm to make up the difference. Okay, so now we are using the Camlinks audio that's coming in from the camera using the Comica Boom XD via lapel microphone. So if you were trying to use a setup like this for your live streams or for your regular videos even, but you're kind of using something maybe like Ecamm or whatever streaming software that you're using, this is an option for you. If you wanted to, and y'all could let me know how this sounds, if you wanted to use this for something else, it still will work. It's just a matter of when you're plugging in the connection, and I think this is plenty enough for an audio test. So let's see. So is it, oh, that's really muffled. Okay. Now this is their lapel microphone. So that's the difference. So say way lower. That's the only thing. It's like I didn't adjust the audio in the camera. So now it should be saying my ears. Is it horrible? So this is what it sounds like. I couldn't listen to this for long, not even an option. Okay, so here's the thing. Sound is low. All right, so I would have to adjust that in the camera. Let's see here. Maybe something is wrong. No, this is what they got set up. This would be the setup. However, you can adjust the, again, this is the thing though too. How about we switch back while I fix it? All right, so now we're back on this, and let me turn the audio down so it's not yelling. All right, so here's the thing with audio. We're dealing with essentially like 3 components here. You got the Comica Boom XD's audio. That is fine. Haven't used this lapel mic. This is the one that comes with it. And that's one of the selling points also, is to say like, oh, you already get a lapel mic. I don't know about that. So my whole thing, and then too, shout out to Andy Sinney that sent this over to me as well. So more on this, but again, it's more audio tests, so I have to do more tests with this. This is the one that comes with it. I have better lapel mics, and so again, like some sound muffled, some sound high pitched, some sound blah, or super bassy, and then some sound good for your specific voice. So it really depends. So you have the volumes on the device that you can turn up, which is still kind of low. Like, so again, we can take this off. Just get rid of that lapel mic. But you can test your own. You can get better lapel mics. The thing I want to see, though, too, mostly is the internal audio system. How is that good, or how bad is that, or whatever the case is. So I'm going to switch one more time. And as much as I'm going to do right now, because, again, I forgot to adjust my audio levels in the camera. And then I don't think I have other lapels near me right now. So we're going to have to rock with what we got for now. And then the rest will come out like in the video. So let's switch. Okay, so now we're using the audio from the Comica Boom on here. So this is, again, just straight coming out of this device. And it's going into the camera or whatever the case is. And they do have a difference of cables and whatnot. I don't know how much that matters. Again, it's a lot of little parts that I would have to test to make this make sense. So I don't know. This is kind of All right, so that's all we're gonna do, because I ain't trying to deal with too much audio hell. But that's the thing when it comes to stuff, because most people buy it, get the lapel mic that comes with it, and it's just like, oh great, I don't have to buy one. It's just like, yeah, probably you do. Not that it's a bad one, because I don't know that yet. The audio preamps in the Sonys are great. But again, if you're going to use it for something like that, is this good enough? Like the lapel, is that good enough? We switch the lapel out, change the audio levels. Would it be better? Would it be worse? These are things that, like, when it comes to testing something, you can't just say, oh, that sounds awful. you got to test. Do it like literally I'll sit and I may do a 30-minute test, swapping lapel mic, swapping this, testing this out. What's the right audio levels for this? Because right now it's at +9 decibels on the thing. It has a mono, it has a stereo. So there's a lot of little moving parts to this, which is why I didn't like come out next day when I first got this. I'm like, it's some more going on with this. Whereas with the Rhodes, those are really specific. They pretty much got those really dialed in. And so every lapel mic is kind of different. Some are dynamics, like this one is good for rejecting background noise. And then some are more condenser type. So it kind of is a little bit more brighter because it's picking up more ambient noise and stuff like that. So it kind of really depends with that kind of stuff. So it kind of sucks that it's not a great first test. It's not to put a bad taste in your mouth, but again, it's like I really have to run some more tests with this to figure out, okay, here are the most optimal settings for this. If you're live streaming, maybe there's something you need to do for live streaming that you don't need to do for video. I doubt it. But I'm really curious to do that, because when I tested the lapel mic myself, I wasn't a fan of how it sounded just on camera. I think some people's voices on YouTube sell stuff a little bit better because it's different. So I just think it depends on, your voice, I guess. That kind of makes sense. It kind of depends on your voice. And I'm not finna put y'all through the trials of connecting audios, and that's behind the scenes testing that just needs to keep happening. But just to if you took what they gave you in the box, which the cords are fine, but the lapel mic is feels some kind of way. One thing I did notice about it though too, and I'll move on, is that it's low. Again, I need to figure out what the right decibel settings would be per se for it. So it's kind of weird. Again, with the Rode Wireless Go's, you can it's low, medium, high. That's pretty much it. And so again, they kind of have it really dialed in, but that's a Rode kind of a thing. So we'll see. So don't throw it off just yet, but we'll see. I got to do some more tests with it. But so far, it is good, but there is a way to hook it into your MacBook Pro. You just need to use the TRRS port here. Anytime you connect into your computer, hopefully y'all can see that. Block my face. Anytime you see this with the 3 black bands on there, that's TRRS. That's always the side that's going to go into your computer. The side that has 2 black bands, TRS, is the one that's going to go into your camera or into the device at that point. That's how that works if you're connecting camera type something or audio equipment like the Rode Wireless Go's or the Comica Booms to your computer. 3 black bands into the computer, 2 black bands into the audio device or into the camera. So that's how that works. Jimmy saying hopefully they offer it in a standard on Ecamm, because I don't need virtual camera in 4K. Yeah, so even talking about see here, ecammlive.com. Even on Ecamm's website, and I'm gonna move quickly because y'all comments is flying. When we go over here, so let me pull this and hissing real quick. And again, if you guys have questions, right there, go to dyna.link/join if you want to hop on live and test out this new guest feature, and you will have audio. I was like me yesterday. So when we go to Ecamm Live's website, they have on here their pricing as well. And so there's always going to be that separation. I get that. Again, but is it worth it? Just like I said in the video, you're going to get virtual camera with standard anyway. You're just not going to get to share it out to Zoom or whatever. So if that's important, literally for that reason only, if you need to use that, that is what the Pro would be good for. But we're also looking at the difference of $15 a month, which the monthly prices for anything versus the yearly prices is always going to be more. So on a month-to-month thing, until you figure out if you want this or not, or would you prefer something else or not, $15 a month for another $10, saying it's if you need that for external use. So I never have needed mine for Zoom and stuff like that, because I had a capture card, especially once I switched from using Canon cameras essentially. Then it's just okay, but at the same time, it's do you need it? If not, then don't worry about it. And that was my whole thing, because most of this other stuff is more pro level features, if you're like broadcasting an event or something like that. Then this is where you need this other stuff. Otherwise, you don't need it. There's no point. You can still connect your camera on the standard plan and move on and go on with your life if that's what you want to do. But again, it's like for an extra $25 just for 1080p, and then you can stream longer. You know, I'd rather get a 2 for $20 at Applebee's. I'm just saying. So Kathy saying I love Ecamm, as do I. Like that, I literally bought a Mac just because, and my footrest fell over. So now I'm screwed. But saying I love Ecamm. Jiggy saying I got big problems with StreamYard. And I'm not trying to bash on nobody, I promise, but I'm just telling you how my dollars roll. You know, how I would spend my dollars. And that's kind of the approach that I take with certain things. Just like I'm saying, the Comic Kaboom, that was sent to me for free. And I tell all these companies, and sometimes they don't want me to review it. It's like, well, you know, if you could know, I'm going to test it. And I'm going to say, it's like, like the lapel, it's like, it ain't looking too good on my end. You know, it's like, well, all you got to do is just like, I had another company send me a microphone before, and it sucked. And I was like, this ain't going to work. I was like, it's airplanes, military airplanes all the time flying. It's like, oh, that's not going to ride. And it's like, because people got kids, they have life, they have maybe live in multifamily dwellings. Maybe you just have other people living in the home with you or whatever. You need a microphone that's going to reject noise. I'm like, this microphone does not reject noise. It's like, oh, just adjust the settings. I'm like, hey, I'm not even talking about this on the channel. You can have it back, whatever you want to do, but this ain't rolling. It's not rolling. So, you know, I just try to be real straight up about that. And then some of y'all are real quick. So some of y'all are now moderators. So if you see any weird stuff this week moving forward, some of you guys are moderators. Those that you'd like to like ask or whatever. So K-Walk Comedy saying, hey, Diana, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to you as well. As well said. And if you think it's the bee's knees, say so. I will. I think the device for the Comic Kaboom is the bee's knees. I do not give that title to the lapel mic right now. I would say probably get your own, which good lapels don't cost that much. You can spend more money, but I'd say get probably your own lapel mic. Everything else in the kit will be fine. But that's what I would say. I like the little clip thing. I think that's smart, but audio is really important. And just like I was complaining, as soon as you heard, like, oh, hell no. I think audio is extremely important. If the quality drops some, that'd be fine. But if I'm annoying the hell out of your ears, that audio exhaustion is real. So Jiggy saying absolutely StreamYard more than Netflix, and and it be bugging out. Listen, you're saying what I'm thinking, brother. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you get your Disney Plus and a Netflix, and you know, have a grand ole Opry. However, you know, I'm just like, you know, especially like I think about me still working at my job and how much money I'm taking from my check to invest in myself or my business or whatever, like I was doing at the time. And that's why I'm like, oh man, Ecamm Live was $39. And then it went up to, no, it was lower than that, 20 something and then $39. And I'm like, I ain't have a Mac then. And I was like, okay. Then it went up to like $80. And I'm like, oh hell. I was like, I don't know how much higher this is going to get, but let me get it before it jump again. Went and bought a Mac so I could have Ecamm Final Cut Pro 10. Cause like I tried all the rest of the stuff, and it's just like, for me personally, it just was not, you know what I'm saying? It was not worth it to waste money month to month with other stuff versus whatever. So, you know, it is what it is. So stay safe. Good to see you saying, hey, Diana, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Troy W. Hudson.com. I don't know if that's his website, but Troy, good to see you saying Ecamm rocks. As funny as yesterday's live cast was, with the way it was handled, I still felt bad for you. So what he's talking about, for those that weren't a part of Ecamm live stream yesterday that they were doing, I was the 5th person on, and so what we're using this week is Ecamm Live. So you still can join. Go to diana.link/join if you want to hop on and ask a question, and that'll also, you can get a chance to see super early what that's looking like right now. It's not going to be the final version, but this is just a version right now. So. But yeah, I didn't have audio. I was the 5th person on. I had no audio. And so I'm like, oh man, this sucks. And Adrian's like, you're going to need like a sign or something, because they could hear me, but the audience couldn't hear me. Some minor tweak or something that needed to be changed, which they did later that day. And so I'm just writing on papers and holding up signs like this is what I'm saying. So they could hear the goofy stuff I was saying, but y'all couldn't hear. It was all good, though. I still had a good time. K-Walk Comedy said, I paid for a year of Ecamm, but I can't use it because I'm doing a streaming show with my brother who is 500 miles away. So right now there is, you still could do a show with them. Right now, I'll say this, is this guest feature is not live yet, but it will be soon, like very soon. So if you have Ecamm, right now the way that you can bring people on is using Skype. And I'm actually going to bring up my buddy Joshua Verwer's not website, but his YouTube channel. He actually does, let's see here. He does a live stream called the Vlog Pastors. And Jared's in Texas. He's in like Iowa. And so they use Skype. And so I hopped on with them after their stream yesterday. Skype works fine. I just don't like Skype. It's a resource hog. And again, so it's like my complaints are to anybody. Everybody can catch it when it comes to complaints or like things like, oh, no, this ain't going to work. So like when I was communicating with Ecamm, I'm like, y'all got to do something. This Skype is trash. You know, it's like, and it's not y'all, but it's like, we need something better. And I'm like, it has to happen. Like, and that was a lot of people's concerns as well. And I'm like, this has to like, there has to be another way. And so this is Joshua Verwer's live stream. And so they do their Vlog Pastors podcast. Hold up. So that's going to be loud. Give them a like. And so let's turn down the audio. But that's one of the things. So like they do theirs. So he got some, he uses Ecamm as well. And so let's go to when they, or this the one where it messed up? Oh. I forgot they had that issue yesterday. Is it this one then? So they do a lot of fun stuff. Let's go to about here. And then maybe y'all can hear what the audio sounds like.
And so I had some creative freedom.
And I'll cut that up a little bit.
On some of the videos that I did for them. And others,
and so he uses
had, like,
the
no
Sony.
Freedom. They said, this is what we want.
Let's see here.
And
Let's see when Jared is talking.
On the table, it is very hard.
Just trying to get you to hear the audio.
I've done that a time or two. I've actually
right there. I think he starts talking.
I started going live on my cell phone in church from like
I don't care
15 feet away.
So just so you can hear the audio of like the audio's fine, the video quality is fine. Josh uses the Sony A60 600 as well, Sigma 16. And all of that. His white balance and colors were off yesterday. Jared uses a Canon camera. And so it's just like the look is fine. He's using Ecamm and all of that stuff. So, I mean, you can do some stuff with it and it looks fine. I'm just like, it's a resource hog. It's kind of meh. It's old school. And nobody wants to use that. It's just easier to use a link than to use all this other stuff. And so that was my thing. So thankfully, like I said, now we have access to, or you're going to have access to, I have access right now, but you'll have access very soon to that. So you can use Skype right now. I don't like it, but I mean, it's a thing. It works. I just don't like Skype though. Jimmy saying pro account on Ecamm doesn't work for me now, perhaps in the future, but not now. Understood. So I'm paying for the StreamYard basic plan. Gotcha. Understand. Not for too much longer, I can tell you that much. Jiggy saying, I was saying the same thing last night. They overcharging people for absolutely nothing. Call a spade. Saying, really, I had 2 broadcasts on yesterday and was not giving the 1080p option. I have the pro account. I wonder if there is like a refresh or something that maybe needs to happen about that. As far as maybe like sign out, sign back in kind of a thing, and it'll kind of do its thing, because it's not really a whole lot to that accessing your StreamYard account. So I would imagine either it's rolling out or it's like maybe sign out, sign back in. And hopefully that's a thing. Ready Set Autism saying that's a bummer. The highest package is $49 a month. Yeah, that's a bit much, especially right now. That's why I'm like, that kind of feels. You know what I'm saying? And that was my biggest thing. I started to send an email out to my community yesterday, and I'm just trying to find the center because I have like OCD slight issues there, and I'm like, okay, let's align this. But that was my thing yesterday. I started to send an email about it. I didn't like the tone that I was having in the email because I was definitely in my emotions about it. But for right now, I think like money is simply in exchange for value. I am all for people charging money for their services or whatever, but let it be worth the price and the value. That's why I don't have a problem recommending a $300 audio recorder, a $600 or $700 or $1,000 camera. Because it's like, I know the value you're going to get, or I can say, don't get this one, get that one, or vice versa. Money is simply in exchange for value. But when that value is not there, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, do you perceive the value differently in some other kind of a way, just for ease of use? That's one of their primary goals there, and I appreciate that. Again, different strokes for different folks. I like StreamYard. I just did not agree with this particular move. It just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like 1080p is a standard. You know what I'm saying? It's just like maybe for 4K, sure. Because not everybody's using 4K. Maybe that's a premium option, and then some other stuff. But it's kind of like, my personal thing is just like, I don't like to be nickel and dimed. So like, even with my coaching, they're like, oh, what are your packages? There's one package, period. It ain't no this one, and if you pay this, then you get this. But if you don't do it, just like, I can't even remember all this stuff. One thing, one goal. This is how we do this. Breaks down like this. One set price. End of story. Not this whole bouncing back and forth kind of a thing. And I don't mind investing, paying money for something. Just let it be worth it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing, you know. K-Walk Comedy saying, I wish Ecamm did a better job with guests. I don't like using Skype, and I just wish it was easier to do guests on Ecamm. Well, kwalkcomedy.com. If you hop on today, you'll get a chance to see the very A-level, like, and I'm saying A like as in like level 1 starting point of this guest feature. If you want to take a look at it and see what it will potentially be like. But it'll be the same thing. They don't need to have an Ecamm account. They don't need to have a Mac. I actually tried this with the two guys I just showed you, Jarrett and Joshua. Tested it with them. We did like 2.5 hours, and it went great. Now, Jarrett was in the boonies in Texas on his phone, so that was just as it would be with Wi-Fi in the boonies. But as far as Josh, it looks the same. Like his image, as clear as it looked, all that stuff was good. So I dig it. So if you want to check it out, you can hop on and check it out as well. But I think it's dope. I just think that it's like I said, I think that was one of the big things. Like, y'all see, I ain't never brought no guests on with Skype. I don't like it. That's just my personal thing. I feel some kind of way about it. It just feels antiquated. Howtobuildcredittv.com saying, hey, Diana, what's going on? Dwayne, good to see you. Saying, I got Ecamm because of you, and I'm still using it. Well, I am glad to hear that. Pumped to see you. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, if you need help building credit, that is legit what Dwayne does on his live stream. So check out my buddy Dwayne on how to build credit. I mean, like, I watch his streams and stuff, and I'm just like blown away with how easy we think credit is one kind of a way or works one kind of a way. I really like his approach to teaching. He does live streams a lot, answers a lot of questions and stuff like that. So check out Dwayne for sure. You click on his name, and you can go over to his channel and give him a look-see. Jimmy, good to see you, saying $49 a month isn't happening. 1080p has been around for how long now? Indeed it has. So that's what I'm saying. Like, hey Julia, good to see you, saying hey Diana. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if I came on the channel and I'm like, yo, you won't believe it, I'm so excited, 1080p is finally here with StreamYard, and you're like, oh, okay, great. It was like, well, why isn't it? Was like, oh, you need $25 extra a month. It's like, okay, well, what else does it come with? And you're like, nothing. You can stream longer. You know, it's like you could double up on the recording. And just like, now y'all looking at me like, unsubscribe. I trusted you, Diana. We had a good thing going. You screwed it up. That's where I'm just like, I just want to be upfront and honest, and how I feel about something is how I feel about it. I'm not ragging on it. I'm not telling nobody to use it. Y'all know, prior to today, like, we've been using StreamYard, but I told y'all from day one, this is only because it's easy for y'all to use. And I think it's a good option if you don't have a Mac and if you don't have whatever. But I also list in my live streaming guide BeLive.tv. So, it's just like, it's an option. Pick whatever works best for you. I don't have a preference. I don't have no whatever. If there's a referral or affiliate link, it's like, yeah, I may get kickback monetarily or get like a month free or something with not Ecamm, but StreamYard. That's all very well known. Everybody knows you're going to make some kind of something off of a referral link. It ain't for nothing. So it's not like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no smoke and mirrors kind of stuff. So it's just like, but if it's like, well, what do you think? These are my thoughts. So I'm not trying to rag on them, just keeping it real. Felicio saying $50 a month is crazy in my opinion. It is what it is. Y'all agreeing. So, okay. It's just like, I don't want this to be like, let's, whatever. I just feel like, again, like I told y'all just now, we ain't had no guests on here with Skype using Ecamm as much as I love Ecamm, because I'm like, Skype sucks. I'm not using it. So, what I'm saying? I've said that from day one. And it's just like, with anything, I'm just like, here's the options, here's the thing, and then you can make your own decision as to what you want. But if you like, okay, you got $50, are you willing to? Hell no. I can do a whole lot with $50 every month. I could buy a whole slew of Amazon lapel mics from all these, and actually get some good value out of it. But that's my thing. If it's an investment, am I getting a return on this investment or whatever in some kind of capacity? And it's just like, I, for me personally, Diana, no. Ready, Set, Autism Family saying, what are you using right now? I am using Ecamm Live. So let's see here. All right, so let me scroll to catch up. So yeah, okay, so we got the audio complaints in regards to the Comic Boom XD's thing, saying, okay, so sound is really bad from the Comic Boom. So we'll try a few other things out. Maybe I'll do some other separate live stream tests with it after I can better see what's what, because they give you one cable. They actually give you a lot of cables, but they give you one that says for Canon, Nikon, etc. And then they give you one for Sony, Panasonic, and whatever other brands. And I thought it was interesting because it's still the same TRS cables, but they're saying it's something different. And I wondered if there was something with that, because I'm like, I don't know if that matters, because it never has with whatever. But I was reading the manual, and they were saying how one something is different than the other, which is why they include the two different cables. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that. So I may just take those away, put them off to the side as backups to the backups to the backup cables, and just use my own. And if that makes a difference, because they did say it audibly made some kind of a difference because of whatever. And I'm like, the preamps and the cameras are fine. There's nothing, I don't need your help with anything trying to, unless it's something that the wireless device needs, then it's like, okay, but so I don't know what's up with that. Again, that's why a video hasn't dropped on that so fast to just say, hey, it's great, or hey, it sucks, because I'm like, it's too many moving little parts that make a big difference. So the fact that y'all said it sucked today will have me going back to take a listen to it just to see what's what, just to, kind of get a better feel for what's the right things to do with this versus not. Or am I overcomplicating it, or, what the deal is? So we'll see. Dawn Fuller saying, how, I'm guessing, hey, or how I watch your channel all the time with my nephew. Has the Blue Yeti. How does it plug into his computer to make it work? So the Blue Yetis are a USB lapel microphone. And so there's not anything that you have to do to get it to really work other than just plug it in. That's literally it to get it to work. And then the audio option, you either have a built-in option, just like I can show y'all. Let's see here. Go to live demo mode. All right, so now y'all should be seeing what I see in Ecamm when I'm running the show. Anytime you are doing anything. You can pick your camera source and you can pick your audio source. When I come up here, this is how I was switching between the Comica or whatever, because the built-in microphone is just going to be, it'll probably pick up these headphones or whatever, because that's plugged into the actual computer, the headphone jack. Or if it wasn't any headphones plugged in, it would just be whatever audio is on the actual thingy bobba on the MacBook. However, if I choose Cam Link, then that audio is going to switch into whatever is plugged into the actual camera, because there's clean HDMI on this camera. Or, like would be in your case, for the Samsung Q2U, then I would pick the USB actual microphone as the microphone source so that you can see that. This is literally going to be for anything that you do. You want to make sure that you're picking the audio source and the video source. And so once you plug it in, you should see, like where I see Samsung Q2U on anything, literally on anything, there's always going to be an audio option, a video option as well. And then you can see from there how that works. So that's how that works. So James, good to see you, saying hi. Thanks for all your inspirational videos from Manchester, UK. My pleasure, James. Glad to be of service. All right, Julia, saying, what kind of lens would you recommend to go with the Canon M50? We don't want bokeh effect as for our yoga, but we want a nice, sharp HD image without the Cam Link 4K. So here's my thing with lenses. Lenses will always be based on your uses. So I'm glad that you know what you need, because most people just say, what's the best lens for whatever camera? And it's just like, it don't work like that. And I think that's I was actually just sharing this on like Instagram stories, not stories, but Instagram post. The fact that you would need range lets me know you would need a zoom lens. The fact that you're on the M50, you're going to need proper and good lighting. If you can let me see even what is on Amazon, because that was a bottleneck, kind of a point that I ran into with using the M50, because I'm like, if I want to buy a lens, what is the price range that I'm willing to go to get a good one that's not going to make a bunch of noise? Because again, I talked about that before. I do. Because you can get older lenses, and this is what you're going to deal with. Oop, turn it on. This is what you're going to hear. Every time it's focusing and refocusing, you're getting that motor noise because it's not quiet, because it's an older lens. Let me see what Canon has to offer on Amazon, and we can maybe take a look and see what we can find for some, because we're not looking at that point for really any kind of M50 lenses. You can use the kit lens, you just need more lights. Now, if you want like a really good sharp, then you're looking at an EF mount, which is like their full frame cameras, like their regular DSLR lenses. You're looking at something like that, because the ones actually built for the M50, there aren't a lot of them. And there are primes, like it's the one focal length. But I would say for like yoga something, you probably get more flexibility out of a zoom lens. But I can't really say, like I said, I'm not really sure, honestly, for that one, because that's something I ran into. And either they made the noise and they were big and heavy, they cost too much for, again, like you got a $500 camera, maybe a little bit cheaper if you got it used, and then it's like I'm gonna spend $1,500 for a lens. It's just like, I don't think so. So I don't know how much you're trying to spend. I didn't find a whole bunch of good options when I was looking, but let's see what we can come up with, and then maybe you can tell me a little bit more. So when we go on Amazon and we just type in like the Canon EF, I'm trying to see 24 to 70 is usually good. F2.8s are always going to be a good, generally sharp lens or whatever. But you can see the price on these also costs a little bit more. Now you can go cheaper here. You get this one that's renewed for $679. But it's the same lens. Essentially, it's just one is in an f2.8, one is in an f4.0. Now, if you're asking, why are these lenses so gosh darn expensive? These are L series glass lenses. That's why you see that L, because these are Canon's higher quality lenses. They are great lenses, but they are costly. So if you look at this one, for example, let's just take a look. These are the older style Canon lenses, or whatever the case is. They're good quality. They are. I personally prefer like a 16 to 35, and that's essentially what I was looking for. So if we go to something like a 16 to 35 focal range, because you get more flexibility on a crop sensor lens, it's still, that's what I'm saying, like you're still looking at an f4, which on the full frame camera would be fine. Again, so you don't have to worry about background blur because you're not going to get that on this lens like that. But price range at the cheapest, you're looking at $650. If you get it used, that could be overkill. This lens is one that was always highly regarded, especially on YouTube, because for everything that was out there, from everything that I've seen and looked at, from $500 to maybe $1,500, this one by far was one of the better options. However, some people complained about it. I've never tested this for myself, so all I can go off of is what I've heard and other people I know and their experiences with it. Worked great, but again, for maybe $500 on the cheap end, like you're looking at down here, $547, like for a great sharp lens, you can get the background blur if you want to. You don't have to have it at the lowest aperture. So for example, you could be at f3.5, f4.5, so everything is clear, so you have a deeper depth to work within. You're not having to move around and like the people behind you can't see it. Like it'll be still a deeper depth of field. So you can always make the aperture a larger number so that it's not a blurry background, but you have that capability with this one. The glass is good. It does look great, and it is sharp. There were some concerns with some quality issues as far as the focusing sometimes. Even though the Canon is good because it's a third-party lens, specifically this one, I saw a little bit of that. I'm not sure how much of a problem this might be in real life, regular use case, or if it's just YouTubers complaining kind of a thing. This was like one of the better ones for me. I wasn't willing to pay for a really great Canon lens if I knew probably long term I wasn't going to stick with Canon, which is why I switched. But I would say look into something like that. Find your focal range that you're looking for and try that out. And then try maybe a prime lens. Let's try maybe a 20 millimeters. You got the 22 f2.0. Let's look at that one. Because if you go prime, then you got a better option. So maybe not a zoom, EFM, 22 millimeters. This is a good sharp lens. And that's $250. This is better than $500, $600, $800, $1,500. And so this is a good sharp lens. You still need lights. You can get a little blurry background or whatever, but it's like going to get the job done. Again, you don't have to be down to f2.0. You can always increase that if you want a deeper depth of field. You just need lights. That's always going to be the biggest thing with your camera. You need lights, especially with the M50. I would say start here, if anywhere else. If you need a wider one, then you're looking at the 11 to 22 lens. But however you look at it, whatever lens you pick, I don't care what the reviews say, you need lights. But if you want like sharpest lens, probably this is going to be the best one for the M50. Zoom lenses that are kind of like an f2 or f2.8. Now you're talking about those higher price lenses that I wouldn't recommend for the M50, honestly, just for price to value. And then the camera, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I can't really say that. The Sigma 16 is still a good lens, but it's just, you're not having the ability to zoom with prime lenses. So you'd have to have the tripod set. But I mean, if you don't, essentially it wouldn't move anyway. It's just a matter of how wide do you need it. So use your kit lens. See how wide do you need that to be, and then go from there to like, oh, we're always at 18 millimeters. Then the 22 is not that far off, but you can work with it, just add lights. So Julia's saying we tried plugging in the Rode Wireless Go today, and it sounded muffled and low. We'll have to play around with the audio levels and report back. Yeah, that's always the thing, like you're dealing with your computer's audio levels. Where should that be? Mine's usually tend to hover between 67% on my computer. And then I set the microphone levels for my voice, so I'm never peaking over that. If you're using like something like the Rode Wireless Goes, still those are really loud, honestly. So you still need a good lapel mic. I found condenser microphones work better on those. So if you ever see in the description condenser, lapel microphone, or whatever, those tend to work better. It's not like you can get a little bit more range. I feel like on the roads without it feeling like it's stuck in the middle of your throat in some bad airport from the 90s megaphone kind of a deal. So Ready Set Autism saying, do you like the Rode wireless? Yeah, I like them a lot. That's why I bought them last year. I bought them last year. So I like them a lot. You just need for your voice or for whomever may be speaking, you need to know where to place your microphone. So about down here where the chest bone is, you need a microphone that sounds good with your voice. And then, where your audio level should be at. And so I feel good about using those even for my work and things like that. So it kind of works out. So Julia's saying the issue is more the Canon M50 because it doesn't send the audio when you live stream. We're trying to plug it in via the USB mixer, but for recording the Rode is really good. Yep, and that's just most cameras is going to have external audio. So for live streaming or that kind of a setup, you'll be okay. It's just that's why I did like that audio for live streaming kind of a video, so you can think a little bit outside the box. Be a little bit more creative with the microphones that you already have, because you can do it. You just even would need to use maybe something like a Y splitter, plug it into your headphone jack, and then you have one that has a headphone and then one that can plug and receive the audio. So it's ways around things. It's just, trying to get it there. We got the super chat from Dwayne from How to Build Credit TV, saying, showing some love. Thanks for all you do. My pleasure, Dwayne. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Mathematica Humanista, what's up, Carlos? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying Diana has huge expertise. Thanks for sharing it with us, Diana. My pleasure, brother. Glad to share all that I can. Drew, good to see you, Drew. Saying hi, Diana. Hey, everyone. Everybody say hello to Drew in the comments. Jiggy saying the mic you're using now is the bomb. What is it, 40? What I spent on this microphone? $54 or 40 something dollars. The price fluctuates when it comes to this microphone. But Samson Q2U, it's my go-to microphone, has been for some years. Oh, see, the price is moving with these. This Rona ain't playing. So this is the microphone that I use right here. This Samson Q2U. It's cheaper right now. Well, it's a little bit more expensive. I take that back. It's a little bit more expensive right now, but I like it because you get both this XLR port here, the little 3 gold pins, and then you get the USB output in addition to a headphone output. So when I was doing those videos and I'm like, you can send audio. Like I could unplug the Comica and send audio from this microphone into the camera using the headphone output, because that headphone output is sending audio out. And all you need is the cable that I showed you before, which is just this little simple cable. It's just male to male TRS. So you send it from the mic into the camera, and that's it. So anytime you see me sitting slightly over to the right, slightly different angle, but I'm using this microphone looking into the camera, I'm not using Ecamm. I'm just doing that, and that's it. So a lot of creative flexibilities that you use with the microphones and stuff that you already have. You just got to think a little bit outside of the box. We got Miss Eileen Smith saying, hi, everyone. Hey, Diana. Good to see you, Miss Eileen. Glad that you're here. Julia saying, thanks for explaining the TRS and TRS. I always get it mixed up. My pleasure. It took me a minute to learn that stuff, too, at first. We got a super chat from Alicia Way. Appreciate that. $20. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. 100%. So Kathy saying, thank you. I have to hop off for a call, but I'll be back and watch later. You're the best, and I'm virtually sending you white chocolate mocha. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate that so much. Hope you have a good call and a good day. Jiggy laughing. Alrighty. Saying, buy some fluke. I bought into Ecamm years ago. So you got grandfathered in. Yep. So like if you bought it when it was just one set price, then even if it was and it was so stupid, I should have bought it early. I was like, I should have just bought it when it was cause you can buy the software. And I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I ain't going Mac. I ain't going to, So yes, it is Mac only. So Kyle, you're asking, is it Mac? It's Mac only, yeah. But I was just like, I should have bought it when it was like $29 or $39, and just had the license for when I bought a Mac, instead of just waiting like, nah, it'll be all right, I'll use something else, and just like, nah, it's not happening. Cancer Stories and Inspiration with Queen Bee saying, hey Diana, or hi Diana, good to see you, glad that you're here. So Julia's saying there are other options for window, Kyle. Is it vMix? Yes, it's vMix. That's right. So that's an option. I didn't care for that either. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just preferences. Y'all saw what my screen looked like showing you the Ecamm stuff, and it's just like, that's good enough for me. It's like people's like, you use switchers, and I'm like, no, man, I use a mouse. It's like, look how simple. Just going to show you this here. So this is Ecamm. This is on the inside. Usually this is for the guest feature. This is not being used because nobody has hopped on for being a guest today. But usually, so even if I turn that off, this is what my windows look like. I got this one here. I got my scenes, which are like my folders that have my containers. So if I brought on a guest, you would see me and the guest. Or if I wanted to do a dual side-by-side with me and the guest, you would see that. If I want to go back to just me, I have a scene or a folder set up that says just me. I have my overlays, so I could bring in my lower third that plays now, like y'all see just like on the videos. So that automatically plays now. I added that in there. If I want to do my pre-screen, hops over to that. So, I just want it simple though. I can switch cameras if I want to do that. And this is on the web camera, so you can see what that looks like. And then I could have both of that. So you can see what that option looks like. It's just like, it's about having options that are simple and easy to use. This is simple and easy for me to use. Control my audio levels. Like, what I'm saying? That's what I was saying, like simple stuff. This is more than what probably most people use, but you got to think I've been using this now for 2 years, close to 2 years. So I build a folder like the pre-show, or if I'm going to the live end card, and I'm like, thanks for checking out today's video. May the Lord bless you and keep you always, and we're leaving, kind of a thing. We can do that. If I just want to show my desktop, a keynote, the websites, I set it up one time, I forget about it. I don't need to redo this anymore. And so like that's why I also like Final Cut Pro 10. I want to add a picture. I take the picture from my folder. I drag it into the editing software, and I can start manipulating it and using it or whatever. I like simple. If I want it more complex, I can build it into that, as you saw with the scenes and the overlays and the whatevers. But if y'all look back to my streams, so I even started on BeLive.tv. This is way before even I had a YouTube channel. I was on Facebook. BeLive.tv. Love BeLive. I just don't use it anymore. And I was just like, oh man, found about an Ecamm. I was like, okay, need to switch it up then. But it's simple, and that's what I like. That's what I prefer. And for most people, like I said again, for my audience, we are entrepreneurs. We are business owners. We have companies to run. We have employees or contracted workers to work with. We have emails, good Lord, emails, okay? I had to teach myself a thing or two about emails, like, do not reply to emails when you already annoyed, okay? Shoot. It's like, that's bad customer service. It's like you got, now, thankfully and graciously, got companies requesting to send stuff, so having that communication. Interviews, podcast interviews, other opportunities, amazing opportunities to be on people's YouTube channels and live stream, like all these things to manage and deal with. We are not trying to be cinematographers. If we are on YouTube, it's for our business or our interests or whatever, and simple works. That's why I choose some of the tools or recommend what I'd use, not because of whatever. I had to talk to a company recently about that. Like, here's where I come in with similar things that maybe YouTube channels, YouTube tech channels, or photography or whatever, we'll have the same equipment. Our use case is slightly different, or maybe it's the same use case, but it's for a different reason. So when it comes to terminology, won't care nothing about all this extra other stuff. Maybe us nerdy people like me want to know more, but the most of us is like, it's fuzzy. How do I make it clear? Add lights. Great. Thanks, Diana. You're a genius. It's just like, it's like simple. We ain't trying to, well, the dynamic range is 15 stops and none of that. It's like, so here's why we care about this, and here's where the buck stops with us. So for me, that went on to be more, but for most people, it's just like, the hell with the rest of what you're talking about. Keep it simple, so, that's where I come in. So K-Walk Comedy saying, do you have video on your lighting with glasses? No, and that's something I've gotten asked about before, and it keeps coming up, so I guess I need to do a video about that. It probably won't be next week. We'll see about the next batch of videos because I'm taking some time off next week. So it'll be 2 videos that'll be scheduled to come out. But yeah, I'm taking some time off next week. That's why it's not going to be a live stream, because I'm just like taking off. So we'll see. I'll do a video about that, but that's a very simple fix though. So Cancer Stories and Inspiration with Queen Bee said, do I need any other technology to use Ecamm Live other than my MacBook Pro? Microphone. Always going to need a microphone. Microphone. So I never see any computer glare on your streams. If you don't have a video, please make one soon. Do we want to see behind the scenes today? If you would like to, type yes. If you or a loved one would like to see behind the scenes today of my very simple, I'll do a video, but if you just want to see, I guess I can figure out something today. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's real simple though. Saying Jonathan, good to see you. Saying I just came in. When is Ecamm launching their guest speakers feature? There is no date officially yet, but all I can tell you is very soon, which is why. We ain't had nobody come on yet today, but if you want to try it out, you can. But it's very, very simple. So, Jonathan saying, how do you compete with people in your industry that all they do is talk about the fluff and how easy things are? I don't push the fluff, but I should. People, I guess I don't know, some of this is a little off. So here's my whole thing with competition. We'll start off with the first part of this. When it comes to competition with other people in your niche or in your industry, the reason why you got started on YouTube and video and business, especially like if you're bringing your video and your vision for the reason why you have your business to YouTube, you already should have some unique qualifier about you. I am not going to look at all of the extra other channels that are out there in the world that cover the whatevers with the intention to be better than them. My intention and my focus is always to better deliver to my end user or my viewer. I never am looking about how can I make my footage look better than theirs? How can I do this? I go to the comment section and I'm going to look at something that people are complaining about and that they are praising so that I can see where are they having issues. The reason why is because most people would say something, for example, started this off about audio and stuff like that. If I'm just saying like, oh yeah, get your TRS to TRS cable, I'll be like, well, wait, was that all together? Is that one word? And then somebody will complain in the comments of the video. What was that? A lot of questions, a lot of thumbs up, whatever. We can go to YouTube and test this out in real time. Let's look up, and I'll bring this up. This is how, like, it's never really competition. You need to be service-centered first versus self-centered first. That is always going to be the goal with your content. How are you serving the people that are watching? I don't try to do fluff because it's a waste of time. If you are anything like how I was when I worked my job, you are tired. You have a family, you have life, or you have a medical condition or something like I have stage 4 endometriosis. And I deal with that. I have minutes and hours that I'm accounting for how much time I'm going to spend consuming content so that I can be better at producing content. That means when you're wasting time, you don't care about me. You just want maybe an affiliate sale, or you just want, some whatever, buy your course or your thing or whatever, versus serving me first. And that's a byproduct of the service of the video. So if you're looking at your videos ever from like, oh, this person's quality, is never like, I'm looking and I'm listening to you with the intent for, are you going to deliver for me? If this is like, that's why I was looking at, let me try to think of something. For example, first time home buyer. So I'm gonna go to YouTube. I was working with this with a client before. So go over here. Working on this with a client before. So let's look at first time home buyer tips and advice. The YouTube search bar is always going to bring up what people are actually searching for. If you are doing anything to where it's not about what the people are searching for, you're wasting their time completely. I'm going to go to round. All right. So now let's look at Sierra Elaine. Pause. Most of y'all start looking at this channel and you start trying to judge it based on the quality and, this and that and whatever. And how many likes and thumbs up. Get out of that. That don't mean anything other than how well is it serving somebody that's in the comments. That's the only way. That's the only reason why I will even judge or look at anything to do with the like to dislike ratio, for example. Not even comparative to the views. The views will let me know how many people have seen it, exposure wise. But I'm always looking to see how many people did this potentially serve. So Kathy, we got you calling in. So I'm gonna answer, but I'm gonna hold you in the background for a minute. So we got that lets me know that. So I'm gonna clear that off. When we start going down here are the most important things. This is never about competition. It's going to be about service. Service to many leads to greatness, period. So 92 people agreed with the part 2 coming out about whatever. So people wanted more, obviously, on whatever she's talking about. Great. 670 people agreed with, I have to applaud you for not doing a 5-minute long intro and getting straight to the point, literally. 670 people agreed with that. 8 people replied, including the person that did the video. These are the signs and the things that I look for when I'm talking about looking at a video, because this lets me know the video really served in just like, hey y'all, welcome to the channel. I teach this. Let's get into this video about blank. The hell with, I've been in, whatever field for 83 million years and stuff that nobody cares about. You care about your credentials. You care about what school you went to. Don't nobody care about that stuff. And I'm not saying you specifically, John, but I'm like, from when you're looking at your content and you start analyzing videos, those are the things that I look at to see how well is it serving somebody else versus is my video self-centered. My last video, I took out 4 minutes of recorded content. There's nothing really wrong with it other than it became irrelevant to the overall point. And that was like on some like recording and editing tips and stuff like that. Me leaving the 4 minutes in is self-serving because I recorded it. I said it. I thought it was great. And I'm going to leave it in there because I like it. Taking the 4 minutes away means it's going to better serve the person that it's created for, and the hell with whatever I was talking about, So it's never about views, subscribers, blah, like, no. Judge a video on how well it's serving somebody or where it's missing the mark and craft your content around it being for the viewer and not for, any of the rest of that stuff. So I'm going to bring on Kathy, you coming in live in 3, in 2. Let's bring you on. Oh, she's saying 1 second. Oh, you ready? All right. I can't read you. Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. Add to split screen. All right.
Hey, I'm actually on my iPad. I'm waiting for my Prius recall to be done.
Okay.
I just wanted to pop on to help you see what the Ecamm Live looks like.
Oh, okay. So you just coming on to start some stuff. That's what you coming on to do, huh?
I didn't mention anything about white chocolate or black chocolate.
Not yet, you didn't. But we don't know. We don't know if we can trust your judgments yet, Kathy. We don't know yet.
Well, I also wanted to advocate for you showing us the lighting setup because I never see glare on your glasses, and that's just awesome. But I'm liking the Ecamm. I can't wait for this feature to be available.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot easier, and like you said, your iPad, your phone, it'll be fine for either. That's not Apple specific, but yeah, it's some other things on your end that you're probably seeing that will be there, like a private chat and stuff like that. So I could, see what's what or whatever. So a few other tweaks and stuff, but this is like very, very alpha level 1 type stuff. But so far, quality wise and all that stuff, it's worked really well.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, enjoy your week off, and again, thank you for all the info you throw out to us. It's all value add. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Even if you don't appreciate white chocolate.
I knew it was coming. You ain't right. I appreciate you, Kathy. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. That's such a riot. There's something wrong. I'm telling you, something wrong with him. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I'm experimenting with some things. So I thought I could set up like some pre-screen windows and stuff like that. So I have to see how that works because it didn't bring that in the last time. So I'm curious. So that's something to bring up. Again, good to test with though as well. And it could be something I'm doing. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, so Jimmy saying I was talking about Ecamm making the guest feature only available to pro users. Oh, but I don't think a lot of standard users are going to jump to pro for that feature when Skype works. I don't think it'll be something that'll be like a pro or standard kind of a thing. I think it's just going to be baseline, just like with the regular guest feature in general, because it's just like, I think that's kind of weird. I'm hoping I'm right about that. I'm definitely going to ask. I'm glad you bring that up. I don't think it's going to be a price tier kind of thing, because it just is like, it's like saying, well, you can use your mouse with the pro account, but you can't use your mouse with the standard. It just kind of seems a weird move if it was. So I don't think so. So I think it'll be fine with the, I think it'll be universal, but I'll double check on that and I'll let y'all know. I'm the Brown saying good all day. Ray Hart saying, no, I just got here, y'all. The party y'all got the party started without me. Indeed, we did. Indeed. Udron saying, have you tried the Samsung G-Track Pro USB? I have not. I don't try a whole lot of USB microphones for real. I'm kind of a one and done person a little bit. If I get some more that I can test, like I reached out to Samsung, they are not able to send out units and stuff like that right now, because I just got an email from them last week asking them about that. Like, is there any opportunity for that or what the deal is? So it's not right now. Maybe I can check back with them a little bit later, but it's kind of like, I try not to buy stuff just to review it if it's going to be like a marginal kind of a difference thing. But what I can say for Samsung in general, from the microphones that I have tried with them, even like that handheld unit that I was using in some of the videos before, the audio levels tend to be good. So I haven't used it, but with Samsung's audio track record, kind of like the same with Rhodes, I would say that you can probably expect good audio from it more or less. But yeah, I'd go with that. All right, so I'm scrolling down. Dr. B from BAIMTV.com. Good to see you, Dr. B, saying, hey, Lady D, how are you? Doing great. Having a grand ole opry here on the channel today. Saying, Jimmy saying, okay, pause for the cause, because I have not drank enough coffee today. And we know what happens if I don't have enough coffee. English tends to turn into who knows what kind of a language. All right, so are all your graphics done with Canva? I'm still torn between Canva and Snappa. And another one came on my radar today, Placeit Decisions. So I do use Canva, but I use Canva in combination with Final Cut Pro 10, believe it or not. So all the stuff that I showed you before, the countdown screen that you saw earlier, Even when I click on this, like if I move your comment, if I click on this Instagram lower third, that is the same one that I use in my regular videos. I've just made it so that I can use it as an animated overlay inside of Ecamm Live. Doc Boyd, or is it Doc Boyd? Is that your last name? Doc Rock? I think it's Doc Rock. We're just gonna stick with Doc Rock. He's done a lot of great tutorials and stuff like that with Ecamm, but it's very simple, honestly. I have not, as much as I wanted to, dived into how to do more things creatively with Ecamm. Final Cut Pro 10 to get effects and graphics and stuff like that you want, because you can do a lot with a little. It doesn't take much. So most of my stuff, like thumbnails and all that, like I've shown last week on the live stream, I use Canva. If there's something motion animated related that I want to do, I'll bring that into Final Cut Pro 10 and I'll kind of play around with that. Excuse me. So, for example, my live intro, let's take a run at this and you'll see what I mean. So that was created in Final Cut Pro 10, but the elements and some of that I used in Canva. So when I hired somebody to kind of give me some of the branding scope and stuff like that for Entree Woman TV based on like the vibe and stuff like that I was feeling, I had them give me the brand guide, fonts and all that stuff. Then I took that into Final Cut Pro 10 and I started to add in kind of like, because my whole thing is like helping you move your vision forward using video. So in my mind, I'm thinking like a fast forward symbol kind of a thing. And for whatever reason, like fast forward brings to mind like VHS kind of a effect. So I'm going to play that one more time and you can kind of hear just those little splashes in there. So it's kind of like back in the day, you put a VHS in and when it kind of clicks down and then you got the little old school TV sound. So that kind of a stuff. So that was like my vision for Entree Woman TV, and just the kind of stuff, like just moving your vision forward with video. VHS has nothing to do with that, but I like those elements. Just kind of, it fits and suited me. But I do all that stuff. I took those picture elements, brought those into Final Cut Pro 10, and then you can add transitions and effects and glitches and whatever else. Use keyframes, little things layered up. You can do a whole lot with it. Place it. I think it's good for like if you want to fill in. So I mean, like I'll get as many tools as I need to get the job done, but then I also try to use what I already have. And maybe I just need to think creatively outside of the box to get it done. So you can do a lot. The Cutting Edge TV saying, hey, Dan, I just wanted to thank you again for the brutal honesty last week in my channel review. My pleasure. Saying I have made some changes and praying it will be a blessing to others. Blessings to you, sis. Appreciate that, brother. I hope that it will. I try not to be too brutal. It doesn't work out all that great all the time, but glad that it was well received, and hopefully that helps move your vision forward with your channel and things like that. Julie saying, thank you so much. We'll check out the 22mm lens, and yes, we do need a zoom. We'll compare it to Kit Lynn sending lots of white chocolate. Appreciate that. So Debut Guitar could see, glad that you're back, saying I just bought a Meika. It's like the MEIKE or something like that. Meika Mikey 25mm f1.8 for my M50, but it doesn't work. I'm sure it's user error. Those Meika or Mikey lenses, however you pronounce it, those are manual focus lenses. So you literally got to turn every little thing to get it to work. So good luck with that. Let's see here. All right. So T. Davis saying, yes, I saw your Ecamm tutorial and I am sold. It's a great program. Well, I'm glad, T. Davis. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad that is of good use to you. Appreciate that. So let's see here. So Julia, we got the super chat saying, is that quid? Is that right? Or euros? I don't know the symbols. Because it always throws me off. I think it might be euros, 10 euros, I think, from Julia saying, thanks, Diana. Appreciate your videos. My pleasure. Glad to be of service. John, you saying, what format is your Insta call to action to add it to Ecamm? Actually, I might still have it up. Let me close out of this client's stuff to keep their stuff confidential. I don't know if I have to, but it helps just to maintain integrity. So let's go to, I can actually show you. So I'm gonna go to whatever, and I'm saying whatever. I need to stop that. I need to fix my English and stop using filler words. Let's see here. So what did I do? EW stories, I think. Okay. All right, I'm just queuing this up, and then I'll show y'all because it's easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Lower third. So what you do in Final Cut Pro 10 is not that. So I'm just trying to find the things that I was using. All right. If I didn't screw it up. Yeah, I think me being smart, I deleted it. So I can bring it back in. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb stem. But what you do is very simple. You can use, oh hell, I'll just show y'all. So let's go over to desktop. And then that is not it. Wrong desktop. We need to go to Final Cut. All right, so here we are in front of the Final Cut Pro 10. I'll usually save this as my lower third, but I earlier somehow went in and deleted it. But no big deal. What you'll do is go in here to, now again, you can buy and use whatever it is that you want to use when it comes to effects. You can go buy those off the internet wherever. And so, for example, not none of these. Those are old school. Let's look at, yeah, this is where I got it from, Instagram. So I'll grab one of these and I'll bring it in here. This is fine. I like 60 frames per second for overlay, and that's fine. All right. So essentially, you would have your video in here. What I do is I'm going to expand this out. I'm going to bring this over and down because I need to remake this anyway, so might as well. I have my color saved. I know I'm moving fast for those of you that don't feel comfortable with Final Cut Pro and all that good stuff. Just hold tight. The point that I'm making, Diana Gladney. All right. Point that I'm making with this is that you get one of these effects. You can go buy these from envatomarket.com. Actually, I can pull that up real quick. Let's go to Envato. So like if you're using Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro 10, you can use whatever you want to use. Any of these will work fine. You just need to go and get like some kind of effects packages or something. Envato Elements, I believe it is. I think it is. Just do Final Cut Pro X. And so like now you'll see that you'll have transitions, packs, titles, minimal effect things, whatever it is. And these are all elements and stuff that you can add to your video if that's what you want to do. And so that'll work great. You can literally use it for titles or whatever. They have it for Final Cut. I just typed in the initials. Let's do Final Cut Pro. Have titles, you have effects, you have literally all kinds of stuff in here that you can use for literally anything. Presentations, like you name it, they got it. So when we come back, let's say you bought one of these, you go into, let me move myself to someplace else. You go back into Final Cut Pro 10. Now you take one of these effects or whatever. I bring it in for as long as I want it to, stay on screen, and then it automatically goes away. I change the color to a color that I have saved, which is over here in this color circle area, so I can move that around and change that to whatever I would want it to be. But I have a purple, pinkish kind of a look that I like, and that whatever font that you want to use. But when it comes to exporting this, if I want to add this to my Ecamm Live, what I'm going to do is export the file. We do not need or want audio with this. So I'm going to export this as a video only. The source is going to be the Apple ProRes 422. Now you can do I think it's 444. Actually, either of these would work, but the 444, just keep it real. So info, like change it to whatever you want to call it. But these are the settings essentially that you would need. So if you had anything that you wanted, let's say it wasn't this Instagram one. Let's say it was, let me see, let me find something that's kind of interesting. Let's say this was something. I'm going to make this underneath, just hitting V to make that go to sleep. And I'm going to type something that is something we all need to do. Eat more white chocolate. And then it's come to the second line because all these are usually customizable. Eat more white chocolate and you will feel better. Exclamation point. And so if I wanted this to come on and be like that and then fade off, these are already built in. You could change the colors, all the same things that we did before. But if I'm going to export it, I don't need audio. I only need the video side of things. So I'm going to export that file, call it, the white chocolate graphic, for goodness sakes. Go to settings, make sure in that video only, the source is the Apple ProRes 422 or 444. I think I usually use 422. I don't think it matters. I'm going to save it to my computer. And now, let's go back over to Ecamm, because I'm going to show you. I might as well show you the whole process. No point in doing partial ways. So now I'm going to show you. I'm going to drag this in from a folder, put this over here, and now you see that now plays. Just that simple. And if I play that again, eat more white chocolate, and you will feel better. And that's all you need to do, so that the background is transparent. You don't have to worry about it being black or white, and it being like this big screen. It's just like a transparent background. You get to maintain all of those audio features. And so anytime we now have a problem, I'm just going to put this up on the screen. And so just eat more white chocolate and you will feel better. And that's how that works when you're using something like that. So again, you don't need to go buy some type of effects or something. You could do that for anything. If that was something that I wanted to add to something I'm making for Instagram and some other kind of stuff, it gets really easy. I don't try to be the expert when it comes to making every little thing. If it's $10 a month for a service or $15 a month for a service, if it's getting a daggone job done, take this money because you're going to save me a headache. So when it comes to buying like those packages, another one, it's not just Envato Elements, it's something else, titles, I think. So like, for example, let's go back over here, websites. So when you go back to like Envato, it's a lot of websites. It's just a lot of websites out there that you can use. They have them for Premiere Pro. They have them for a lot of editing software and tools and things like that. And so you can get those titles. So if you had something you wanted to add to your live stream, those will still work too. And you can have all of that during your live stream, and you don't have to literally create all of the animations and create all of the things. And let me turn that off, or that will literally play every time I come back to being full screen. And so that's some help there when it comes to that. So we've been streaming for an hour and a half. All of y'all saying yes, y'all suck, because I need, all right, so I'm going to need a minute. We're going to put the music back on. Everybody voting, they want to see a behind the scenes. Okay. You want to see behind the scenes for the camera thing or for the lights. So let me grab something and I'm probably just going to grab, oh hell, I don't know. Give me a minute. I'm going to put this audio back on and then we'll see in a minute. So y'all give me a couple minutes here, okay? All right, so y'all should be able to see. Y'all gonna have to pause for the calls on this one. So this is literally all it is. It's a light right there, my camera right there, and my computer right here, and then my desktop over here, like my monitor. But just to give you a side angle view, let me pull it around here. So hold on for the pause for the calls. Yeah. All right, sorry for the shakes, trying to get around my whole desk. So you can see distance wise, it's not that big of a deal. As far as the audio, not audio, but the video. Camera is right there. That other tripod is usually when I'm using my 35 millimeter. But you can see literally that light is right there. But it's not, like if you see where that camera angle is, it's literally right there. So it's no difference between where this camera is, but this light is up high enough so that it's not directly on my eye line. And that's literally all it is. That's it. All right. They got me pulling out the M50, stuff falling everywhere. All right, now I got to plug my camera back up because I'm using up all my USB ports. All right, so this one should take about 10 seconds. Switch this camera source back over. Well, y'all got a sister working today. Good gracious. Grab a camera, hook it up. So it's not a lot of distance. Maybe a step or two between me and my camera. Well, arm's length. You can see how close that is. And then maybe another step is my light, but it's up high enough that it's not on my eye level. You could take the computer and where's my phone? So I just want to show you how this works. So if I pull up just a white screen or something like that, and you're looking at your glasses, you always want to make sure your glasses are clean. But, great, I'm in dark mode. Let's pull up like a calendar maybe, something. Everything's in dark mode. Fantastic examples I'm doing here. But I just want to show you if I could pull something up. Yeah, I got everything in dark mode. So I'm going to need something with this is going to be too much. What could I do here? Website even? Okay, great. So this should be a white screen. If I face this towards my glasses, is that bright enough? You can see a little bit, but not for real. I don't think my phone's brightness is up. But the way that works, there you go. So you can see how you're getting some kind of a glare in my glasses now. Most of the time for y'all's camera and your light, it can still be close to you, but you have something with a white background literally at your eye line level, like my phone is right now, and it's shining light and a reflection right back at yourself. And so you're getting glare. Now you at least want to move it so you're still being lit by the thing. And you see how close my phone is, but just that difference. It's only until I move up. Now you're seeing the glare up there. But if I bring my head down, it's not down here. And that's literally all it is when it comes to like getting the glares off your glasses and stuff like that. Your light is going to be a reflective source. You got glass, even with the extra coating and all whatever else you're going to use. You always want to make sure that your source that's bouncing back on you, even like your desktop, you can mitigate that a little bit. That's why I have my websites and stuff over here. So if I'm turning to look this way, I'm about to go to a smaller screen or picture-in-picture kind of a thing. And for the little bit of time that I'm looking, you're not seeing a glare versus having all the websites and stuff right here. And now all of that white screen and user interface and all of that. If you look back at Ecamm Live again, all of this is dark. Like it's just a bluish dark ground background. It ain't no white background behind here. Like it's dark. So even still, there's not much of a glare. So you don't have to deal with all that kind of stuff. So that's how that works. Now, K-Walk Comedy, don't ask for no more examples. All right? And I ain't taking no more votes. Okay? It's not democracy on the channel. I'm just kidding. Okay. Let's see here. He said, we'll still love you if we see some mess. I ain't shoot. All my messes usually paper centered. And I think I took that to the other room. So that's the only thing. And then it's like I put my heating pad on the chair. Again, it's like I said, endometriosis. So I always have my heating pad. Usually my feet are up or whatever, which I'm going to put my feet back up. So because, so you're sitting at your desk for a long time, you're working. It's not a whole lot to my office right now. I was actually thinking about, and if y'all are good with design kind of a thing, let me know. I need some help. I want more bookshelves. I'm thinking the cube shelves were back here where this thing is. I'm going to take that down, that picture over here. more bookshelves, because my books are laying on top of each other and it's just not a lot of space anymore. And freaking A, if the book fair, I had tears in my eyes, y'all. The book fair is canceled. ain't no, and it ain't gonna be no symphonies. And I mean it just like that. It ain't gonna be no symphonies this year. No winter concerts. There shan't be any winter concerts. I am feeling some kind of way about it, but it is what it is. My Castle Life saying, my rule of thumb is serve your customers first with value and content. Secondly, compete against yourself to be better at producing quality videos that you did yesterday. And that's why I have so many videos on the channel. I've even deleted up to 100 that I know of, and then I stopped counting after that. 100 that I know of before I hit probably even 2,000 subscribers, I know. Because it's just like, I'm just trying to get to my next best level, making my last video better than the last video. If I'm watching a tutorial, I'm going to use whatever I just learned in that tutorial for the next 6-7 videos, and then trying to see, did I uncover another issue? Did it solve a problem? And just taking like time to creatively work on something. That's why I don't, it's like I don't think about, and that's hard too. It's really hard to not compare, but you have to remove yourself from other people's opinions, because what other people think about you is none of your business, and you shouldn't be thinking anything about anybody else, because they don't care nothing about you neither. So it's just like, the only people that matter are you, the people that you're trying to serve. That's literally all that matters. Everything else is null and void. If I suck, none of y'all would be here. Flat out. If I was like horrible and you had to listen to the muffled audio, like from when we were doing the test earlier, if it was all, you'd be like, the hell with what, I don't know what she's doing. We leaving. We going. Because it's wasting your time. So that half-ass, just enough, whatever kind of stuff, that's a problem. Otherwise, like I tell my clients, my coaching clients, when I'm helping them with their video marketing stuff, nobody drinks water once. Nobody drinks water once. And you buy multiple variations, typically of bottled water, or you use different, because it's only about the source. That's it. Are you nourishing, or are you giving them something? So if you were looking for help on a topic, you're not just going to look at one video and say, that was great, thank you so much, and never go back to YouTube. No, because every problem leads to another problem. Every issue leads to another issue or another question or something. Even if it solved that one problem, if you're service-centered versus being service-centered versus being self-centered in your content, then you're starting to think about, what is your audience's next logical question? That is why people can send me messages, and I will see comments that I'm replying back to on the channel. People saying, I'm binge watching your content. Not because I'm so great or I'm thinking I'm the ish, but because I'm trying to be self-centered and not just saying, hey, go watch another video just because it's something to say. It's to say like, hey, here are some audio tips and hacks and things like that. The next video is going to walk you through how to fix some of the challenges that you're having with whatever, because if you're using this, then it results in that, and this is going to help you. So there's a reason why I'm even sending you to another video, if there is one to follow that in that way, to service you more. Not because somebody else made a video about it and I'm just going to copy them, because who cares? You know what I'm saying? So nobody's drinking water once. You serve them once, they'll come back. So, holy moly, we have the JoshuaWerversOfficial.com, who I was just showing your channel earlier, my good friend. So good to see you. Glad that you are here. Let's see here. Who else? Saying my dog's name is Mikey. So I think I'll go with Place It in Canva. I found a 15% off coupon for Place It. We'll share it then. Shoot. What? Throw it in the comments. What's the coupon code? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I was wondering about this earlier because I got a super chat from Julia saying it's pounds. Okay, euros looks like that C kind of a thing. But with the economy right now, they're almost about the same. Okay, and now we all have a good lesson in European coin exchange. So euros is that symbol, good to know. And then the other one, is the other one. So pounds and euros. So now we know. All right. So Jimmy saying, in Envato, I just saw with a free account, you can have 12 downloads a month. I think they offer some kind of subscription, something like I was showing with Envato Market or whatever. You can use some kind of, they do have a subscription, or you can pay for packets or packages. I like to just, as much as I can, own something. I just want to own it, because I don't want to stop that subscription, stop using it. And I've embedded that so many times into videos or whatever, I've forgotten about it. It's just become a part of my content, that because I stopped the subscription, I have now lost licensing rights to any future videos using it at the point where the license stopped. And so if I'm doing something like that, I just want to own what I'm going to use. So a lot of the packages and stuff, like I was showing you in Final Cut Pro 10, I just own a lot of stuff. I'll go buy it. I don't care if it's $15, $20, whatever, $35, it doesn't matter. I just want to own what I'm using. Some stuff is based on subscription for my client work and stuff like that I'll do, so that project is properly licensed. If they want the licenses, they can have them, whether it be for the music or the B-roll or whatever. So it's okay. I'm glad you saw it, because we went into Final Cut Pro 10 today and we made the greatest stuff. This is just for you. Eat more white chocolate and you will feel better. That every time you come on the stream, I'm gonna let that play every time you come on. Before I read your comment, I'm just gonna play that we made in Final Cut Pro 10 today, so that you have, and you just know it's a precursor before I bring you on, okay? And so as they were being manipulated. Okay. Burgess Taylor, good to see you. Glad that you're here. One of my screws came unloose here. K-Walk Comedy saying, I use videos, but I didn't pay for it. So you're pirating. So not only do you eat dark chocolate, but you're stealing. And see, I'll tell y'all right now, you ever see me on the first 48, I'm snitching. I ain't going to jail with Big Bertha in them. I'll tell you that right now. Ain't happening. Ain't going. Ain't happening. Saying, thanks, Diana. Your setup is really nice and looks amazing on camera and YouTube. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. K-Walk Company saying, very informative having that light in. Yeah, that's a really small LED light. That dish is just that pop-up softbox light. I've talked about this on some vlogs before, just showing my gear and stuff like that when I'm traveling. It condenses down to about something like this big. So, and that's sitting into the closet a little bit. The light stands are teeny. They aren't that big at all. And so the light is sitting there and it just protrudes out a little bit. But it's pretty much sitting in the closet. And then you'll see that light just reflecting. And again, that's so that I can turn it on, I can turn it off, I can adjust it or whatever I need to. With the remote from here, I don't need to get up and do anything with it. I have a one-button system, so I can take my big toe, turn all this stuff off, and I can leave the office. And then I can turn it on, and everything comes on, or I have the remote, and I can turn that off. And then all you see is like that window light, and then from the monitor and stuff like that. Or I can turn it on, adjust the temperature, X, Y, and Z, and so on and so forth. You saying that looks like a Sigma lens? Yes, I'm using right now for this is the Sigma 16 millimeter lens. Yeah, so light makes a huge difference. Yeah, light can do a lot of things. Nobody actually asked this yet. What is this light called? It's a Viltrox light. I'm super impressed with the quality that Viltrox has been making with their equipment. I just now need to remember what it's called. But it's only like $100 and something kit. Here it is right here. So this is the Viltrox kit right here that you're saying. This is $214 because this one has 3 lights. They have a one that's like $150 because it has 2 lights. But we can just look at this one just to keep it simple. So like again, this is the one with 3. You don't need 3. You can get the one with 2. I have the one with 2. This bag is the bee's knees. This is my favorite travel bag for just like my cables, my cords, tripod stands, the whole nine. It is amazing. And so if I'm going to use anything, I have like cables and stuff on one side. It has straps in it. Okay, honey, thank you so much. You have these power adapter cables, so it comes with a power option. You can use batteries, those Sony batteries. Something is, or another is what it's called. And then you have the remote, but these lights are very thin, really small. So like here, you can see just how small and thin those are. You can change the temperature to be really cool, be warmer, and whatever else. And the light stand, super small, not a whole lot of moving parts to that. But that's pretty simple. And that's what I use for myself, and that's what I use for my client work as well, when I'm using that as well. So Ash Shock saying hello, good to see you, glad that you're here. Dee Dee saying hello, what's up, Dee Dee? Good to see you, glad you're here. So you just have the one light. I have the one light on. The other one stays packed up until I need it. Depending on the day, like it's raining right now, it's kind of overcast, but it's not as dark. If it's at nighttime, probably I'll throw that other light off to the side, but most of the time this is more than enough. And this is only at 48%, 4,500 kelvins. So it's not even like blasting, like you can see. It's only if I put my hand up, then you can kind of see there's some level of like getting even that much closer, slightly overexposure or whatever, but it's not a whole lot. But for me, for where I'm sitting, which is where it's adjusted for, then I can deal with it. Or if I need to decrease it or increase it, that's more than plenty, because it's casting light all around me. You can see the desk is well lit. Will you comment real quick? You see the desk is well lit. The cup is well lit. So if that stuff was dark, then you'd know it was really, really dark. But yeah, just the one light. Excuse me, goodness. Lights high about 45 degrees above you and to the side will help prevent or lessen a reflection for any who wear lights. Very true. James, good to see you, saying good afternoon. I'm glad that you are here. All right. Jimmy saying I use a green screen. My apartment looks like a crime scene. People come over and ask us there needs somebody. You know, I no comment. No comment. You know, we just do the best we can. My Council Life saying I was supposed to be in the book fair at the Javits Center in New York. It was canceled, and I almost cried. I feel you. It's hard out here in these streets. Bohan Sun saying you are awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see. K-Walk Company saying, just to be clear, I paid for video. I love it for making overlays. Highly recommended. Yeah, I've seen some ads for it. It looks pretty good. It's a lot of video services and stuff out there about a lot of different things. It's just really just a preference at that point when it comes to what works or what doesn't work, or whatever the case may be for you and your use case and what you're doing and things like that. James is saying I have a cup of roto lights. Interesting. I'm not familiar with that. It's maybe something I'm familiar with seeing, but not really hearing the brand name or type with. So it just depends. But whatever works for you. But that's kind of how I have my stuff set up. But that's where I'm gonna leave it for today's live stream. It's never short here, apparently. I don't know what short is, so we're almost 2 hours. So, but that's what I'm gonna leave it for today's live helpcast. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, enjoyed the content here. Hopefully it was helpful for you. We did a few things different than we usually do, but as always, live with passion, and I will see y'all on the next live stream and the live helpcast, not next week, the week afterwards. So I'll see y'all on August, I think it's like the 14th or so. But with that, guys, live with passion. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.